What's going on, guys? My name is Jeff and this is Premium Aquatics, and today we're going to be taking a look at the NYOS TORQ Reactor. What's going on, guys? We're back with another video, and if you're new to what we're doing here, this is where we take a look at new products each and every week to help you make an informed decision whether or not that product is right for you, your reef tank, and your budget. And this week we're going to be taking a look at the NYOS TORQ Reactors that are available at Premium Aquatics. So let's jump into it. So first things first, we're going to take a look at the TORQ dock. Now, the interesting thing about this guy right here is it works with every single body that's available. So all you need is one dock, and it's going to be able to upgrade with you as you upgrade your needs for different media. Let's say, you know, you're starting off in the hobby, you have a 55-gallon aquarium, and you know, you have dreams of someday possibly owning a 200-gallon aquarium. So let's say you start off with the TORQ body 7.5, and eventually you can upgrade to that TORQ body 2.0 and still use the same dock as long as it's operational. That's pretty awesome. I think that's kind of a ingenious way to, you know, be able to interchange things and still have some of the components work with you as you go forward in the hobby. So before we open this up, let's kind of go over some of the specs of the TORQ dock. The dimensions of this is almost 6.5 inches across, and it stands for just under 4.5 inches tall. And then depending on what body you put it with, the overall height will change. The 2,000 millimeter, which is the 2.0, is 64 fluid ounces. When you add in the dock, the overall height of this is just under 21 inches. And that's going to be the same for the TORQ body 1.0, which is 1,000 milliliters, which equals 34 fluid ounces. Overall height 21 inches, and then the dimensions as far as the width is going to stay the same. And then with the 0.75 body, your overall height is going to be just under 18.5 inches. And with the 7.5 body, you're going to have 750 milliliters. That's going to equal 25 fluid ounces, and it's going to stand just over 18 inches tall. Alright, so this is the contents of the TORQ box. You have the base unit, which this is what the body will clip into. Then you have the base of the TORQ dock, which has some rubber feet on it, which is going to help with vibration and keeping down the noise. And then you have the pump for the dock. Now, it's pretty surprisingly a small pump, but it does have some pretty heavy duty wiring. So for setup, it's pretty easy. All you do is you take your pump, place it into the base, and then you have these two little clips right here. You want to make sure that the tube of the pump is going to be in that hole, and it clips into place, and your base is assembled. Pretty painless setup right there. Alright, so we have our dock put together. Now let's take a look at some of these bodies. First one we have here is the TORQ body 0.75. You got a quick start guide. Really thick acrylic on that. Sleek looking design. That's how you adjust your flow within the reactor. Comes with the sponge. So if you have those small granular media types, you can have no problem with those. The interesting thing about these reactors is they cascade down around the media body. So as far as assembly goes, you have this purple mark right here, then you have the purple mark on the base unit. All you do is just line those up, set it into the dock, and then twist. You have these markings. The more that you twist it, the higher the flow will be in the reactor, and this little mark right here is basically the guide as to which marking you're on or which setting you're on. Alright, so we just looked at the TORQ body 0.75. Now we're going to take a look at the TORQ body 1.0. Now the interesting thing about the 1.0 is you have a little bit more usability with this one. So the idea behind having these two different sponges here and here is you could have two different types of media in this one reactor. So let's say you're running GFO and carbon. You could have your GFO in the bottom and then your carbon at the top, or vice versa. A little bit taller a little bit wider, so you know it's going to be able to hold a little bit more media. It's definitely slick. That really goes on very, very well. And if you were only going to use one media in the 1.0, you could just take out that rod and leave that one sponge in the bottom if you need that. If you didn't need the sponge, you could take that out and then just have that plate in there, and you'd be in some good shape to run media. And last but not least, the Torque Body 2.0. Now this one's the same height as the 1.0, but it is much wider. Pretty beefy in comparison to the other two. Again, you still have that same option where you could run two different forms of media in the same reactor, which I think is really, really awesome. Or you can remove one out and just run one type of media in this reactor, then have another dock and another 2.0 if you have a very large aquarium. And I really like how they design the top on these, where you have sponge at the top where you can see right there, but that sponge goes up almost like a cup, and it's going to filter out that water continuously all the way up to the top. Alright, so we have the 2.0, the 1.0, and the 0.75, and all of these bodies work on the dock, which is a very good feature, I think, for people that are possibly looking to upgrade in the future. And what I really like about these, the 1.0 and the 2.0, is the ability to put two different types of media in the same reactor. I think that's something that we haven't really seen in a lot of products that have come to market. So I have a little tank here with water that I filled up with cold water, unfortunately, so it's a little bit cloudy. That's just condensation there. And what we're going to do is take the 0.75 and the dock and then set it up in this tank and see how it works. Alright folks, that's going to do it for our look at the NYOS reactor. If you want to pick one up for yourself, there's going to be a link down in the description below, where it's going to bring you to Premium Aquatics, where you can do some more research or even pick one up for yourself. That's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you next week right here with a brand new video.